Alright, so what's going on, guys? Today's Saturdays for the Boys, episode 6, which means today is the day that we start the motor. Everything's done, like the motor's in the car. Literally all I have left is the upper radiator hose. Throw some spark plugs in it. Got the ECU over here. And then got to throw the axles on with the half shaft. And basically after that it's done. Just fill it with fluids, prime the engine, and crank it. So I am extremely excited, praying that this thing does not blow up on me, and also praying that the head gasket's good, like seated, and all the other seals and stuff don't leak, because I just really want to try this thing. I don't want to have to rip everything back apart. So yeah, so AD said to be here at 7. It is now like 7:20. He's not awake yet. He hasn't texted me back. He's never on time. And Dylan should be popping up here down the street any second now. But yeah, he's been having car troubles too. Relay issues, I think, main relay issues or fuel pump issues, whatever. So yeah, basically really only issue for today is trying to find bolts to hold in my fuel rail. Because these studs that you normally use, yeah, my fuel rail for whatever reason is really shallow, so you can see how one thread, the thread side on this one is longer than that one. Yeah, fuel rail doesn't seat in all the way for whatever reason. So I just need to find some bolts, kind of like need to get some bolts from Ace, probably something close to like this, but this one I think is a little bit too skinny, so something with a proper thread pitch, bolt down the fuel rail, and then everything should be copacetic. I'm super excited, so let's wait for these nerds. Really hoping it doesn't rain on us. I mean, we can push the car inside the shop, but what's this rice I smell? For you guys wondering, if you even care, we're going to be swapping his motor sometime in the next couple of weeks into his DA. So the motor from this car is going to be going into his DA, so that way it won't be so darn ugly. And he kept saying that it was probably not his pump because he's got a brand new Walboro or whatever it's called, and it's his pump. I'm a mutter now. You like my new Super Swampers?
Dude, that's pretty tight butthole, man.
Yeah, went through the lake. You know what's not tight butthole?
This fucking car?
Yeah. So it is the fuel pump?
I guess.
The main relay, dude. The main relay.
You plugged that in already, dude.
I'm fucking with you. So they got a hopper one.
So we've been doing some work. We got the plugs in. We're working on finishing up the hoses. We got to go to Ace so I can find some bolts to hold in the fuel rail still. And then I got to go to Ace and get some more hose for my catch can, because the hose that they sent me with it barely fits on here and it doesn't fit on the back of the block. Those things down there. So get some more hose. And other than that, just fill it. Fluids, axles, fenders. I'm good. Dylan's a sad panda because his car is broken.
Yep. I mean, it's always broken, so.
So now it's not driving broken.
Both of them.
Both.
No favors.
So, you know, I told you guys I got this hose. Well, I thought it was going to be a lot farther back for some reason. So, yeah, it's wrong. So I'm going to go turn this back in and pick up a 99 Civic Si hose, and that's good. And then the guy got the V-attach wired in, so we're changing out the gasket on it right now. I got all the coolant hoses hooked up, minus the upper one. And then everything else should be copacetic. I gotta move this clamp up really quick. And I guess he found some bolts for the fuel rail, so we're just one step closer. And then Pinky over here.
You can save your hand, I ain't gotta shake.
He's got his buddy coming over to help him get his fuel pump done. So, making progress. Hopefully within the next. Dude. Hopefully in the next like 2 hours we should have this thing getting ready to fire up, if that. So, catch up with you guys in a few. So we're almost there. Gotta go grab a different VTEC solenoid because the gasket we had was wrong. And then just trying to finish, or we gotta wait for the radiator hose to come in, so that'll be here around 1. So other than that, we're just finishing up the bit of wiring. Got the grounds done, got the fuel rail issue solved, and then once the car's up and we're putting the axles in, I gotta put the hoses in for the manifold to the idle air control valve and stuff. So 2 hoses, a couple more wires for the fuse box. Then should be ready to fill with fluids and prime it. Got the shift linkage put up too while we're at it. Alright, so we've been going through a little bit of hell, but we're literally just putting the finishing touches up, tightening the last couple hoses. Gotta throw some coolant in here, prime the engine, and we'll be good to go. So close. Alright, so finally after a bunch of bull crap and a lot of leaks, because we kept forgetting crap, motor's ready to be primed up, it's got coolant in there. So catch can's hooked up, everything's hooked up, except for the distributor and the ECU, so that way no spark, no fuel, so it's just cranking. It's filled with oil and crap, so just gonna crank it, make sure that the oil pressure light goes off, and give her hell. Alright.
So you're just cranking over to prime the oil?
I don't have a clutch yet. What's that noise? Alright, so that clicking noise was the axle. It was in gear on accident, so. And for some reason my oil pressure light's not working, so I'm not too sure on that.
Here, let me see this shit.
Dylan says it's from the seatbelt being unhooked, but I don't honestly.
It's the green seatbelt plug. If that's not plugged in, try it. I'm gonna plug it in. Is that?
That's cool. So I don't know. Hopefully try and get this figured out before AD gets back.
Oh, what the fuck?
Alright, so we've been priming the motor. Ran into a little issue with the oil light, so pretty sure it's because it's not grounded out since I have that aluminum T thing right there. So the oil light I just wanted to have just so I can make sure the oil has pressure before I get this first starter going, but should be good now. I'm gonna just be running an oil pressure gauge here in a couple weeks anyway, so that'll be fine. But yeah, ready for the first start. Let's give it hell.
Should I call Trey? Because he's waiting out there. I can't smell anything. I don't see anything. No?
No, I don't see anything.
Alright, well, I mean, there we go.
That sounds good.
This thing's really freaking quiet, so I think you did a really good job. So, like, most of the props goes to the young lad. So,
I pulled some good.
oh, so stoked. Got all that burn off because we spilled a buttload of coolant and everything on there. So, it'll be smoking for a bit. We're going to let it warm up a bit, bleed the cooling system, and check for leaks. Alright, well that's it basically. So the motor is all done. Everything is put back in the car. I got both seats in and whatnot, so everything is definitely good to go. Got all the fluids, power steering and everything. And I was supposed to just go get the ECU. It's already been base mapped, but it's not like street tuned, I guess. So I'm not going to be beating on it right away until hopefully tomorrow when I can go get the base map touched up, just make sure that I've got the right fuel and air and all the other crap. So yeah, that's probably gonna be it. I'm gonna do a couple little clips as I'm driving home, let you guys know how it's going, like temperature wise, blah blah blah, And it'll be cutting the video a little bit short since we just basically got to work all day and made sure that this thing got done. So yeah, I'm gonna finish cleaning up, get out of here, see how this thing runs. Alright, well, so far it seems to be holding up. The temperature is staying solid. I haven't hit VTEC yet just because, like I said, I'm going to be babying it till I get the full base map done. So I don't want to push it right now, but running good so far. These solid mounts or whatever, they literally make everything rattle. Like, you can hear the shifter rattling, I don't know why. And the dash rattles like no other, and some stuff in the hatch is rattling. I gotta find out what, but yeah, kind of annoying, but it definitely feels super solid. Alright guys, so here it is. Car made it back home just fine, and so far so good. No leaks, no check engine lights, no nothing crazy. I didn't hit VTEC. I took it up to about 4,000. That was like the highest, and held up pretty well. I can definitely tell that it's going to need a tune because it was set as a conservative thing, so that way I didn't blow it up. So it's kind of in the low end right now. It feels pretty good, but go mid-range, it kind of drops off a little bit, which then it'll pick up obviously in the high end where the B16 head is like the most prominent. So yeah, I don't know. Gotta hopefully get a Shawnee tune tomorrow, but yeah, so far so good. So I'm gonna give it a wash and end this video out for you guys.
We'll start